Welcome to episode 3 of the Electric Scooter Podcast. In today's podcast, topic number 1, YouTube videos. Topic number 2, how can you pimp your ride? Followed by ESPN Electric Scooter Podcast News. Interesting note, I did a little jingle for the ESPN this episode, and guess what? I think I called it the Electric Podcast Scooter News. Electric Pod or Scoot. Pay attention. You'll notice there's something funky, and not in a good way, not in a like Parliament Funkadelic way. There's something a little off with that jingle.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's scooter time. Are you ready for scooter time? Here's our host who will make your liver shiver. He will make your knees freeze. He'll make your bladder splatter. He'll make your butt strut. He'll cause your eyes to rise. He'll make your toes froze. He'll make your heart fart. Ladies and gentlemen, the scooter star himself, Dagwood Street.
Well, hey now, that's quite an introduction. I'm Dagwood Streets, and I'm your host of the Electric Scooter Podcast. For enthusiasts, by enthusiasts. In today's show, we're going to do our usual review of YouTube videos. We'll talk about an interesting scooter from Canada called the Super Glide. Later on, we'll talk about different ways to customize our scooters. And as usual, we'll end up with ESPN, Electric Scooter Podcast News. Joining me today, the lovely, the talented Keilani.
Hey Dagwood, it's nice to be here on another Electric Scooter Podcast. Seems like we have a lot of interesting topics to talk about.
Yeah, do you want to just go ahead and jump into it?
Yep, sounds good to me.
Well, we are fans of YouTube, and some of our favorite YouTube channels are Electric Scooter Guide, and we watch a number of other ones, Alien Rides, Ginger on Wheels. A guy from Canada named Timothy West I discovered recently. And so I thought we would talk a little bit about our interactions with the Electronic Scooter Guide, because I sent them an email and I let them know that we're fans, and we are. Frankly, I love the way they do business. You know, the drama that they're adding. I didn't originally get into when they sit down for like an hour and have these big discussions, and they have the laptop there and people are interacting over Facebook. But lately, they have this like Saturday Night Live or the Tonight Show kind of introduction, and they're really playing it up. And I love that. I think it's great. And I think it's great what they're doing. If you want to really find details, like real world details on specific scooters, ESG is your place to go, both their website and their YouTube channel. They don't sponsor us or anything, and I don't think they're sponsored by anybody. I don't know. I did see a commercial from Voro Motors, and I believe one from Fluid Freeride. So they do have interaction with the dealerships, which we do not. But they gave me a nice response. I mentioned that we're fans and subscribers, and that we have a scooter podcast. And they responded right away, thanking me basically for adding the link and giving them props. And they said, let us know if you'd like us to be a guest, or you would like us to double check any information. So what a great resource. It is, yeah. And I think that would be a good podcast. You know, We're on many platforms. We're on Deezer. We're on Apple Podcast, which I think you can interface through iTunes or the little purple app if you have an iPhone. We are on Podchaser. We're on a whole bunch of platforms. I can't even remember all of them. We're also automatically dumped onto YouTube, which is a good thing because somebody might come across it, but it can be depressing when you look at your YouTube and there's like 12 views or something. But I don't think, to be honest, YouTube is a platform that people go to for podcasts unless there's a video along with it. But you do have that option to listen there because I know it is convenient to go to YouTube. So I do know some people who do listen to podcasts via YouTube. So I will put links to the folks and channels and podcasts or whoever it is I happen to mention in the comments section of each platform that we're available on, and that includes YouTube. So, Timothy West, he's kind of a big dog reviewer, like Ramir on ESG likes to say. He's not a petite gentleman. He's from Canada. Looks like he's from a beautiful part of the world, Vancouver Island. I'm guessing he's around Victoria somewhere just by the backdrops in some of his videos. Did you watch the video on the Super Glide 4.0?
Yes, I did. It was very interesting to watch, and I loved how the scooter was built.
It was unique, wasn't it? It's kind of, would you say a hybrid between an electric bike and a scooter?
I would say that mainly because it has a seat and the tires are very big.
I think they're called fat tires. They're not the huge balloon tires. I've seen videos of scooters that I don't even think are in production, but maybe they've made experimentally to see if they could get enough funds to go into production. But I always thought those were cool too. Those big balloon tires that go across the sand and everything. This isn't exactly that. It's kind of like a bicycle, right?
Yeah, and the front tire seemed to be bigger than the back tire, which was interesting too.
I don't know what the point of that is. I'm sure from an engineering standpoint, there is a reason for that. I liked the color, the bright green. So it's called the Super Glide 4.0, and it's manufactured in Canada because the website that was written on the vehicle itself, on the scooter, was ridetheglide.ca. And the price given was $2,800 Canadian, which is about $2,200.
Seems like a good price to me.
That seems like a really reasonable price for something.
That's like a hybrid?
Yeah, the size of a bicycle. And I've thought about this in the past, that it would be cool to have something like that to where it was kind of like built like a bicycle with large tires, because the advantage of that is potholes, bad streets, driving across grass, things like that. Obviously, the bigger tires are going to be safer and more likely to go through and around obstacles and things like that.
It was interesting when thinking of the seat on a scooter, kind of. That's kind of like my thinking, like you're standing and then the person was like, I'd rather just sit and make it a hybrid bike.
Yeah, it has a seat in the rear that kind of, it's the cover for the batteries. It has two of those large, rectangular batteries. Like usually I have an electric bike and it has one. This thing has two side by side, and the seat is a cover for those two batteries. And if you want to, so you can ride standing up, but if you want to ride seated, you just flip that thing forward and
convenient.
You got a seat. Yeah. I think that whole concept is really cool. And the price seems remarkably reasonable. And the fact that it's a 4.0, that tells me they've probably been making it for a little bit. And he borrowed it from a bicycle shop and drove it around, I'm guessing, a suburb of Victoria, Canada. Beautiful scenery. It wasn't as long or as detailed of a video as I would like, but I got the idea. It was enough. It was to the point. And Timothy West is his name. He also reviews a lot of the big dog scooters. He reviews the Dualtron Thunder and the Wolf Warrior, among others. So head over to his YouTube channel and show him some love. Give him some views. Give him a thumbs up so that he'll continue to make interesting scooter videos. Did you notice, okay, talk about the video, off the subject of the scooter a little bit. Did you notice, like I said, he's kind of a big dog, you know. I'm not saying he's tremendously huge or anything, but he'll say that himself in his videos. He reviews scooters that folks, you know, maybe 200 pounds and up would be comfortable riding. And he had just set out going down the road, and did you see that girl like throw herself at him?
Yeah, I saw that. I was thinking, he's probably thinking in his head, Chica, I'm gonna hit you if you come any closer.
See, I would have thought, wow, this is a good scooter. I get on it and I ride, and girls throw themselves at me. I haven't had that exactly happen on the Wolf Warrior, but I was cruising downtown, and a couple, I don't know how you describe them, Generation Xers, you know, tattooed and pierced, and in a black Suburban, kind of rough and tumble looking guys, where they saw me come, because I was blazing across the field, an open field, and I probably had a big trail of dust behind me. It was really light talcum powder type dust, so I probably kicked up a storm and came up to the stop sign, and they're all like, yeah, like, woo.
You probably look so hardcore with that.
No. They didn't know what a dork I am. So, okay, is there anything else? Do we want to end this part? Super Glide 4.0, and it's not Super Glide like the Harley Davidson, but Super Space Glide 4.0. I don't know how the $2,800 Canadian translates, because I don't know if when you export it across the border, they charge more money. There's import fees. I don't even know if it can be bought in the U.S. I didn't see any information, but our listeners are smart. They can do research and check it out now. Funk Soul Brother right about now. Just get on the Googles and find out what you can see. I'd be interested. I would love to try one. Oh, one more thing I was going to mention is that the speeds and the other statistics kind of matched regular scooters. Yeah, it goes like 25 miles an hour or whatever, and
it was pretty good.
Yeah, and I think it's because even though it's larger and heavier, it has those two batteries. And I see those two batteries as a good thing, too, because they looked very interchangeable with other electric bikes. So if something goes wrong, you know, you just pop them out. If you're wealthy and just have batteries laying around everywhere, you could, if you're going on a long trip, I could see you swapping out batteries. It'd be kind of heavy to carry in a backpack or something. But maybe when you get to the office, you know, if you use it to commute, you take your batteries off, maybe even one of them. I don't know how that works. And carry it to your office, plug it in while you're at work. Yeah, charge it. But I don't know. You would only need to do that if you had a good distance to commute. And if I had a good distance to commute and I lived in Canada with their brutal winters and all that, I think I'd probably have a car.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe it's summertime, springertime. Jerry, springertime. Summertime or springtime, that would probably be an awesome idea. So check out Timothy West. Check out his YouTube channel and ridetheglide.ca. Again, we're not monetized. We're not paid by any dealership, any company, any YouTube channel guys, any influencers. We just bring up topics that are interesting to us, and we think you might be interested. Okay, and now on to topic number 2, ways to pimp your ride. A scooter presents unique problems when you're trying to make that scooter your own. If you have an El Camino or a Camaro, you can put rims on it, you can paint it, you can do a lot of things. A scooter, you have limited real estate. So Keilani is now going to talk a little bit about some things that she's done to accessorize her scooter. Keilani?
The things I use to accessorize my scooter are stickers, Sharpie paint markers, or even just like special paint.
Where do you get Sharpie? What is a Sharpie paint marker? Is that what you called it?
It's pretty much just a marker that's made of paint instead of ink, and you can get at like any Home Depot.
And it's the oil-based paint, so it sticks. It's not like when it rains, it's going to wash off.
Yeah, you want to get the good quality stuff.
I think it was like $13, right, for the multi-pack, and I don't remember what it was, $4 or $5 for the single.
Yeah, and it adds a nice little personal touch to your electric scooter or ride. And it's less boring to look at when people watch you ride around in a little parking lot or something. And if somebody stole it, it would definitely be easier to find.
Yeah, if you're at some kind of scooter ride or gathering where everybody gets together and everybody's parked in one spot, you're going to glance over at yours and you're going to be like, yeah, that's mine. And it doesn't look like it came straight from the factory.
Yeah, and most scooters, they're black, so it shows a lot of dirt. So if you have a little distraction from all of that.
Yeah, what's up with that? I own 3 scooters, and every one of them is black. Although the Wolf Warrior does have a little bit of red highlights. Some of them do have highlights, usually red. Most scooters are black. I do like the eMove Cruiser and some of these scooters that come in different colors. I like the bright orange. The white ones look pretty cool. White, to me, kind of makes sense because it doesn't show the dirt as much. Black is horrible.
Yeah, but it looks more sleek with certain colors and designs on some scooters, but not the all black.
That's true. It also looks kind of mean. I've owned...
Intimidating.
Yeah. Ooh, look at that guy on the scooter, man. He looks tough. Nah. I've owned many, many motorcycles, and as it just has happened to turn out, every single one of them is black. It's just a thing. But
and black attracts heat, doesn't it? So
it attracts heat, and it makes the dirt like really pop. You know how those stupid TV shows where they go, hey, you need to put these kind of curtains or this kind of coffee table. It's going to make the room pop. I kind of hate that word, pop. But I don't know if dirt can pop, but if you have a black vehicle, they just look dirty quickly. And I have a white truck, and I go months without washing that thing, and it looks fine. Nobody cares. Maybe partially because it's a truck. So what was your approach to adorning your scooter? Did you have a specific design motif in mind, or?
I did go with a Hawaiian theme for obvious reasons, but I added flowers and just a bunch of different stuff that I thought would look cute, and like little ocean waves on the sides just to make it all flowy.
The ocean waves kind of represent Hawaii. I like the way you did the ocean waves on the bottom part of the scooter. It's kind of a cool design.
Yeah, it's like you're riding past and you just see it on the side.
But now you did it all in white, which again, here's this word again, really pops. It really changed the look of the scooter. And that was a GoTrax scooter. I've got a Horizon, and I don't want it to look flowery, so I'm not sure what kind of design would you put like on a man's scooter. I feel like a girl's scooter is kind of easy because things that are cutesy and flowery are pretty obvious, but a man, what are you going to do? Put skull and crossbones on it, like, ooh, I'm a scooter pirate,
Put a hardcore looking flower on it.
Just the fact that you're riding a scooter, you're not exactly portraying a gangsta image in the eye of the public. I did notice there's a couple channels too on YouTube, little sidebar here. Guys that do a lot of the crazy tricks and stuff, they do the non-electric scooters. Have you ever seen any of those videos?
No, I haven't.
The guys that fly through the air and spin them around, all that kind of stuff. I don't see myself doing that with a lithium battery. I mean, I'm a surfer originally. That's how I got into skateboarding. Then progressed on to the electric scooter. I never went through a non-electric scooter phase. But some of the stuff these guys do is pretty trick, the X Games type stuff where they fly off of giant...
a whole skill level.
Yeah, it's a whole... Yeah, it's the same...
Just built different.
It's the guys that wear the hats with the great big bills on them, and the hat is pulled down like right above their eyebrows.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why these guys, they always seem to have a certain look to them.
Easy to spot them.
Yeah, it's a tribe. It's kind of like a tribe. I don't know what the scooter tribe would look like. I'm a motorcycle rider and a surfer, and I'm a man. But I don't think skull and crossbones or anything is, really scooterish, if that's a word.
I would say for a guy, just add something that, like, is connected to you in a way. You could add, like, quotes or something that you like on the side, or, I don't know, just something meaningful.
Who's going to read that when you're driving by?
Well, I mean, it's for your own personal scooter.
Oh,
So
look, that guy just went by my window. What does that say? Ask not what you can do for your country. Nah, I'm not sure.
No.
I'm not sure I like that idea.
It's an idea. What do you have?
Maybe I was thinking either like a checkered kind of pattern or something that covers the whole scooter kind of. If I was really...
Flames. You could do that.
Flames, yeah. That's right, yeah. Yeah, you could get inspiration from motorcycles or from custom cars, vans from the 70s, but it's such a small scale. You have such a small canvas to work on. That's why I was thinking polka dot is, I don't know, maybe more appropriate for a girl, but like checkers, maybe lightning bolts, flames. I kind of like the idea of flames, but they're kind of difficult.
Have them coming up of the stem.
Yeah, flames coming up above the stem, yeah. But you kind of want it to look like you're in motion, right? So you want flames generally to be flowing
You can make
toward the
them
back.
like a cool little illusion. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, there's some ideas. You have any further aspirations or plans to pimp your ride? What's your next step?
Probably to add some color.
Oh, yeah.
That would be nice. Instead of just like white and black, have some color on that. And that's...
And are you looking at neon colors or pastel or...
Just any colors that will go with the theme of any flowers that I have. Or
Hawaiian, so you better put some green in there. Green and blue, I'm thinking.
Yes, definitely.
Mauka and Makai. For those who don't know, uka is the word for mountain. Kai is the word for ocean. So if you live on an island, particularly if it's a round or circular type island, sometimes north, east, and west doesn't make sense because you got mountains in the middle and surrounded by ocean. So when you tell people head towards the mountain, you want to say head Mauka and go for then make a right turn and head Makai for 2 blocks. That's a much more logical way of giving directions to people if you live on an island. So I think that's a great
compass.
Yeah.
Just to find somewhere.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. And the roads don't necessarily go north, south, east, and west because your island is circular. So, okay, is there anything else about pimping your ride that you'd like to add?
Not that I know of.
All right, well, let's move on to ESPN Electric Scooter Podcast News. Electric Podcast Scooter News. Dagwood here to bring to you Electric Podcast Scooter News. All right, we get it. It's the news. In India, a company called Battery, BATT:RE, introduced something called recharge stations. Now, this is a plan to create a network of charging stations all across the country. If you're looking for a charge, you're scooting around, or they say any vehicle that requires an electrical charge, all you need to do is pull out your phone and you can find where the closest recharge station is. That is, as long as you're an Android guy. If you're an Apple guy or girl or gal, sorry. If you want to make a little extra money, you can buy your own recharge station and it will be added to the public network. They plan to add at least 500 charging stations by March of this year, 2021. The chargers work, as they say, with any type of electric vehicle, whether it's a scooter or an e-bike. If it's electric, you'll be able to charge it. Go to the Google Play Store, download the BatRE app, locate your nearest charger, and then you got a little QR code on your charger that you use your phone to capture, and then it'll be processed through one of India's cashless payment systems. Pretty cool. Meanwhile, in Australia, there was an illegal meetup in Fyshwick. What a great name. And by the way, this should be a band name. It's Fyshwick. Fyshwick. Just 3-4 days ago. Again, if you're listening in the future, this is January 14th. So a couple days ago in Australia, some police were actually attacked when the crowd turned on them. Young men were filmed doing burnouts on e-scooters, which were recently introduced to Canberra streets. So Fyshwick, apparently a suburb of Canberra. They just toss in that, people attacking police or something. That's probably some completely unrelated event. Trying to make e-scooter riders look like villains. I can tell by the way they tossed it in there. One of the two companies offering e-scooters in Canberra for sale is a company called Beam, B-E-A-M. I don't know, maybe say Beam, but it's B-E-A-M. So Tom Cooper from Beam said people that have been found to have committed potentially damaging burnouts would be referred to police. I would say turned over to the police. Referred to the police as, hi, he's a nice bloke. You should hire him. But we don't say referred in America. Australians, hey, love you guys. If you're listening, it's awesome. Love your accent too. Sorry, I butcher it so badly. Oh, man, I could really destroy Australian relations here with quoting Tom Cooper, rather. He said, we have to stress that I'm sure he didn't say it in this accent at all. We have to stress that the vast majority of Canberrans, oh, that's cool. It's not Canberrians or Canberrians. It's Canberrans, folks native to the city of Canberra, use it in a really, two reallys. I'm reading the quote, okay? I'm sorry. We have to stress that the vast majority of Canberrans use it in a really, really responsible way. And there's just a few people that take advantage of these things, and it's disappointing, and it can ruin it for other people. We want to get across to people that e-scooters aren't toys. I beg to differ on a couple. There are definitely e-scooters that are toys. But if you're a hooligan like me, then hopefully you're riding an e-scooter that's not a toy. In fact, maybe I should take back what I told Keilani earlier in the podcast. Maybe skull and crossbones are appropriate for scooters. Moving along, CNET, which I rely on a lot for computer-related high-tech type stuff. I'll usually go whatever their top 10 American-made stereo speakers or, top 10 microphones, whatever. I do look at them from time to time, but they listed their 2020 best scooters list, and it was kind of ridiculous. I'm not even going to read it and tell you what models they chose. I'm assuming they use some sort of corporate algorithm to form the list, maybe culling from various articles. I don't know, but it wasn't a scooter rider who made the list, or not an enthusiast at least. I'm not saying it was full of bad scooters. You just have to see the article to know what I'm saying. So go ahead and look it up. Google it. According to the Associated Press, electric scooter injuries have tripled in the last 4 years. Again, sounds bad, doesn't it? But look at electric scooter ownership over the last 4 years. And more powerful scooters coming out with more capabilities. How about just during COVID? During COVID, there are less cars on the road, which is going to make people a little more bold and more likely to get out there, more likely to get out in the street. So it doesn't really mean much, but I don't doubt that it's true. Electric scooter injuries tripled in the last 4 years. Last I knew, Associated Press was not known for fake news, so those are probably good statistics. As we discussed in an earlier electric scooter podcast, one of the reasons some people may ride scooters is to go green. I gave my opinion or philosophy. For me, scooters are fun. That's the reason I ride them. Not to go to work, not to save the world. They're fun. But the International Energy Agency says 24% of carbon emissions come from transport. Last year, a study from North Carolina State University found that over their lifetime, e-scooters produced more emissions per passenger mile than buses. Well, I can kind of believe that too, because you can fit a lot of people on a bus. And if you divide that all up, well, how about London and Italy, where they have double-decker buses? Come on. I mean, all I can say about that is it is a statistic. The International Energy Agency put it out. So, yeah. Just goes to show you that statistics can be used however you want to use them. That's it. We're at the 33-minute mark for episode 3 of the Electric Scooter Podcast. I got to do a little jingle to that, don't I? So, as always, please keep the shiny side up and the dirty side down.